Can a deck like this keep up in this format? Just like good, fair, honest Abzan midrange. We've got discard spells. We've got some interaction in Dromoka and Bloodchief's Thirst and Baleful Mastery, Maelstrom Pulse, Skyclave. We've got some quality threats like Knight of the Ebon Legion and Scavenging Ooze that make some disruption. And we've got some Angel Gals here up at the top end of the curve. So the core of this was a viewer submission. Seraph of the Scales is being included for that reason. I am not convinced that this card is historic playable. We're going to give her a try. That being said, these Angels at the top end, I think, are quite reasonable. The sizing on these, where they don't die to Fatal Push and they don't get exiled by opposing Skyclave Apparitions, is good. And they just line up really well into both green-white and Gruul aggro a lot of the time with their stat line. Especially the first strike means that both of these can get into combat with Ember Cleave without fear a lot of the time. So let's go ahead and dive on into some matches with this here and see if this feels reasonable or if it just gets outclassed with what's going on in the format. What's the Apocalypse color combination name for Abzan? People want to talk about boomer references. There's Abzan had a name back in Apocalypse. No, it wasn't Junk. Junk was not Junk. Damn it, chat. Junk was a non-magic jargon. Junk was a deck name. Silly magic zoomers not knowing their history. I think Dago was Mardu. Yeah, Rock was green-black. Yeah, Dago was Mardu. Anna was Jeskai. I think Anna was Jeskai. Necra. Is that right? Neck Revolver? Yeah, Neck Revolver was Abs. There was a Volver for each color, and it had a base color, and it kicked for the other two. So Neck Revolver kicks for green and white, so it was the Abzan one. And that, chat, is your Magic Boomer history lesson of the day. Necro Disciple, yeah. So Junk never had a reference on a Magic card. You're right that we referred to Abzan color decks as Junk decks once upon a time, and the Necra, Anna, Daga, none of those ever caught on as jargon that the Magic players actually used. But those are the ones that have references inside of the game itself from the Apocalypse set. Yeah, Daga, Sita, Necra, Raka, and Anna. Okay. Alright, if we find a land here, we're not in a terrible spot. If we brick on the land, we're gonna die. Yep. You sound a little salty there that we don't call him Bug and Rug anymore, Eladox. How many lands are in here? 23 lands plus 4 harvest. Alright, so Fatal Push and Vanishing Verse all sound great here. Thoughtseize probably not amazing. I'd rather have more cards that play to the board. They don't really seem graveyard based, so Cling to Dust out. We leave a Thoughtseize in as an extra discard spell. Does Grixis need change too, or was it always unplayable? Funny because it's true. So, when Deathrite Shaman was legal in Legacy, you could play Grixis with a green splash because you got to play a mostly black mana dork. Alright, Abundant Harvest. I'm trusting you, Abundant Harvest. Yeah, I actually think Dead Guy Ale's Gandalf matchup is not terrible. Especially with Thalia's in the main. Good guy, Abundant Harvest chat. Never steer me wrong. See, chat, put your faith in Abundant Harvest. It's a terrible to impossible Jund food matchup. I mean, sometimes your disruptive elements get to pick them apart. If I recall, last season, our winning in for Mythic was Dead Guy Ale against Jund food, and we won. If you checked the last video, we played Dead Guy Ale in. If I recall correctly. Yeah, but that was called Check Pile because it was a 4-color deck, Rocky Altars. I don't really like throwing Grixis a bone on that one. Like, had Deathrite Shaman and/or Punishing Fire in it at different points. Mystical Archives are the biggest scam on MTGA. I mean, all of Magic is a scam. And being scammed you are. Is it really a scam if you're enjoying it, chat? Therein lies the real question. Can it truly be a scam if you're enjoying it? Do I take summer holidays? Kinda. I'm gonna need to take 3 days off for when the kids do Cub Scout camp in June, but I will probably stream on the weekends around that time to still put the hours in. So my schedule will change so much as taking formal time off. The only way in which to get cards on Magic Arena are ways that result in you being sad. So based on my opponent's deck, I'm not playing around a sweeper here, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this. The answer is always just buy booster packs until you have the cards you need. Looking to dodge Skyclave Apparition here. I'm hoping they find... Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, oh, exiled from reality. Do 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 do, do 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 do. Ha! Nice, min-maxed. Yeah, it looks real good. We need a pull from eternity. Man, that's a good line, Duck Doolittle. That's a real good one. We have a favorite card from HA5. I mean, if I answered anything other than Milady Elish Norn and I, we go way back. Wasn't I casting Glitz of the Traders when Elish Storm was legal? I was. Getting back into Magic after 4 years and so, Buddy and I were playing old Standard Pioneer decks last night. I remember how incredible Dig and Cruise are. Yeah, so Dig and Cruise are actually Pioneer legal. So I'm excited for them to be historic legal sometime soon. Yeah, Khan's block was great, Grazia. I'm really looking forward to getting those cards onto this platform sometime soon. My opponent's company deck seems really good when they draw the companies. Okay, if we're a little bit lucky, the opponent's bad blocks here might get us out of this. So I get to eat 2 things and then Baleful Mastery one of these and eat the other. Jeskai Ascendancy. Sounds like you know something about Khan's block. What's going on? Thanks for the sub. Looking forward to that one coming to Historic too. Played a lot of Jeskai Ascendancy. When it was, I played a lot of Jeskai Ascendancy in Modern, actually. It's just not quite good enough for that format. Looking forward to having it here for sure. Vanishing Verse, same as the first. And by that I mean 4th Collected Company. Nice. I'm looking forward to getting Paper Magic back again. Should be fun. They are a 4X Brazen Borrower deck, which makes our Skoos kind of have a shelf life here. Which is unfortunate. Oh man, Savage Knucklebuster. If I had to pick a card that I registered more of that I should have just stopped playing, it's probably Savage Knucklebuster. That card was my jam. I top-baited an Open with it. I top-baited Estates with it. Played in a bunch of smaller tournaments too. He was my boy. Whenever you cast it, I got to ask my opponent if they were ready to get knucked up and watch them roll their eyes. It was excellent. I mean, my Skoos is a 2-mana card that's now an 8/8, so like, seems fine. What a commanding play. What a commanding play, chat. Wow, just absolutely flooded and died after they had all those companies. You know what? I'll take it. We take those, chat. We take those. Ha! So, collected company. Do I board in Reidane because they're on company and Ojutai's command? I think I do, right? They probably have like 7+ cards that it makes 2 more. Like the flying body's not terrible either. I think I'm into God. Not that I want to bring in Shifty Boy necessarily. I guess Seraph of the Scale stock goes way down when they have like expensive counterspells like that. We just like cut these in the Thoughtseize and bring in a couple of Shifties. I don't hate that. I'm gonna leave in Lyra and Baneslayer because they have higher upside than Seraph of the Scales if they resolve because they're just impossible to race. Kiagatide, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel this afternoon. So it probably sounds weird to say a little bit, but that last game was honestly such a great highlighting of what I think makes Magic great as a game. In that, like, our opponent got super fortunate in that they had 3 companies and the first one hit 2 Skyclave Apparitions and it felt like we got blown out. But then Variants also swung back in the other direction. They flooded a little bit and we still had a chance to actually play a game, right? Just the full range of emotions that we got to experience there. First time they boarded in Rest in Peace because they were worried about my Scavenging Ooze. Pepperidge Farm remembers. That's good. Rest in Peace resolves. ASL pick for pick. You know, we were talking about IRC and AIM the other day. And I assume that username is a throwback to all of those days. ASL pick for pick. Oh no, we drew a grizzly bear, chat. I'm gonna murder these elves. Sorry, I'm gonna exile these elves. I would like the record to reflect that the elves technically didn't die, they are resting in peace. With that draw, I'm actually gonna wait on the second harvest at least. Like, ideally, I'd like both of these to be non-lands, I think. You know, honestly, 2 5-mana spells in my deck. I'm just gonna cast this other one, digging for another non-land as well. This definitely feels like it's going to come down to attrition. They don't have a lot of pressure in play. Untapped is having some server instability at the moment, so it's been flicking on and off. Hopefully it'll be resolved shortly. It's not on your end. Scavenging Ooze ain't scared, chat. It just attacks right on in. Well, it was like an okay draw, because like I did just like use my things that could have been lands to get spells. So I'm actually going to sit down and look through Modern Horizon 2 spoilers. It's one night this week. Because my direct to YouTube top 5 video this weekend is going to be top 5 Modern Horizon 2 cards I'd like to see added to Historic. They didn't have a company last turn. Do I play into an Ojitai's command here? Is there any reason to do that? I don't think there's a reason to do that, right? We just tap land pass. It's like we're winning this race, right? They need to blink first. Especially with the Vanishing Verse, yeah, because like now I get to Vanishing the Lovestruck Beast, then untap and stick Lyra, hopefully. They could have something like Disdainful Stroke, but they're also a collected company deck, so there's only so many non-creature cards they can be playing realistically. And even if they have the counterspell for Lyra at this point, we're still ahead, right? We're ahead on board and we have 2 cards in hand. And they have something weird like a Mystic Dispute or a Disdainful Stroke. They can't cast Ojitai's Command this turn. Ojitai's Command would be good for them because it draws a card in addition to stopping my spell, but they can't currently cast that. That's cute that you think they did the company math while deck building. Yeah, that's true. Sweet. Think that's a spell. M'lady. Release the jacket. That's for the follow. Well, I guess we did do a lot of winning with green-white tokens, so. The precipice of being a diamond gamer, chat. Man, Elves is probably really bad for us. Oh, they're playing the Gruul deck. This is better. The Gruul matchup is better for us than Elves for sure. We get to Inquisition this Klothys here. When can we expect a top 5 cards from Homelands video? Soon. We are currently on the mono Guildgate draw, but we were on the play at least. Alright, we'll see if we can Ashton Kutcher him here and get him to play this other brawler out. My last top 5 video actually had cards that I think are sets you should be crafting for Historic, highlighting cards that I think are good in each. Oh my god. I almost feel bad. I almost feel bad. Welcome to the circus of value. Watsy didn't print 3-mana Rasp. They just printed Doomscar. Listen, chat, our opponent's already in Diamond. We're fighting for the Diamond 4 rank floor here, okay? I need this. I need this more than they do. Why didn't the opponent know? Doesn't the opponent know I have an NFT of this deck and it's legal for them to be playing it? For people wondering, Beetle was our Hoglandian that finished second in the Open with a variation of Gruul. Abzan Gates. Titan shifted, thanks for the follow. We're gonna be going back and playing some Modern sometime soon. GG! Baneslayer Angel, love it. So they can trade double Burning Tree Emissary for Scavenging Ooze. Deal. Honestly, this might be a bad trade. Don't the Modern folks need 60% to overcome the filibuster? Yeah, so the yes votes have 47%, and the indifferent votes have 24%. So for those of you that are not familiar with how a two-party voting system works, voting indifferent is like voting for the winner. So that means, yes, we'd like to see Modern currently has a 71% of the votes. They're going to beat the filibuster. All right, so we're going to board out the discard spells. Someone did comment earlier that Trump's blog got turned off. It's funny. Were you signing up to watch Kiki Chord again? Kiki Chord's definitely one of the decks we're going to try. Black, white, Stoneblade, and Kiki Chord. So the Wall of Roots anniversary stream would have to be in January. Yeah, Voice of Resurgence is a sweet card. That's one that we're going to get eventually. That one's Pioneer legal, but it's pretty far out. For reference, I don't think Kaldra Complete is better than Batterskull. I'm not sure if that one's worth the slot. We'll probably try it for a content perspective, but I'd be surprised if that card is frequently better than Batterskull. So, if this castle was a swamp, sans a snap keep, because I'd go Inquisition into Ooze. As is, if I keep this, I have to go tapped land, Inquisition, Skooz on 3, which probably isn't good enough, right? Abzan Gates, chat. Distant relative of Bill Gates. Guild Gates 2, this time it's personal. It's a temple of tilt. It won't cast my spells until the next turn. That's all I got. Rate my Lion King parody. All right, so I think we're Vanishing Versing this turn, so we can Scooze plus push next turn. We had a land entered play untapped. I wasn't sure that was a legal play. Reading, didn't know that was Lion King. All right, I have a follow-up question. If you didn't know that was Lion King, how much theater did you do as an adolescent? Because if you were a theater kid and didn't know that was Lion King, that's pretty bad. But if you were just like a normie, like, I wouldn't expect you to know. God damn, man, it was so bad, chat. Next time, lie to me, chat. Lie to me and tell me that my parody was good. Look at that, chat. Did you see the pause there? Did you see the long pause while they thought about putting the second Voltaic Brawler into play? They were hurt last game, chat. They almost let the fear into their dojo. Opponent made the right play, chat. Don't be scared. Just because you've been hurt before doesn't mean you should be afraid to love again. This is unfortunate. I didn't have another green source in sight though, so. Oh, I should have waited until they attacked and spent an energy. Small sequencing mistake here. Seraph for the scales could be very good here if we draw an untapped land. She trades with Bone Daddy and then makes some token. Yikes. Probably dead to that one.
Oh, today's my lucky day.
It's been so long since I've seen that animation, chat. It's so good. So we get lava coiled. I think there were lava coils in Beetle's sideboard, if I recall correctly. That would be a huge beating. So if the opponent is a no good, dirty, filthy net decker, listen, chat. You wouldn't download a card, don't download a deck. Net decking is stealing.
This is gonna hurt.
Clip it and ship it. Oh yeah, everyone would totally download a card. It's just like the biggest load of crap. They're light on lands here. Do I fight the Land War Elf? I think I fight the Land War Elf.
You will regret this.
I'll prove it. I'll prove that I'll download that card.
This will be easy.
Paladin, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. For those of you that are new, by the way, that was sarcasm, just in case you can't In case it doesn't, in case the dripping of it doesn't come across to you. Well, our opponent has the tank lethal down of the girl aggro variety. I guess to be fair, I could have had another fatal push. All right, chat, this is it. All the marbles on game 3 here. Will our opponent gatekeep us out of the Diamond 4 rank floor, or will we find its loving embrace with Abzan midrange? Hold me, Abzan midrange. Hold me tight. Yeah, both that actually played before this. Yeah, we were like 1 or 2 match wins off of the platform floor. Yeah, we played 5-color Niv Enigmatic control to start today, and then we played green-white tokens. Now we're playing some Abzan mid. So yes, yeah, when you hit rank 4, you can't fall back down. If you get to Diamond 4, you can't fall back to plat, regardless of how much you lose. I'm trusting you, Abundant Harvest. There's a trust between us, and you best not violate it. This is an untapped black source abundant growth, chat. I can feel it in my bones. Or that's just because I'm 30 now, but we'll never know, really. I trusted you, abundant growth, and this is what I get. Yikes! Neither of those can vanish, chat. Yikes! Oh no! Oh no! I'm in danger. I mean, was it that greedy? Our hand was really good. And I kept a 2-lander with a cantrip, chat. And I missed my 3rd land. Come on now. Torca's command here. More Knights of the Ebon Legion than lands, chat. I will submit this as Article 237 against the Shuffler. When that trial goes to court, the people will have massed a pile of anecdotal evidence against it, chat. The truth is out there. The Shuffler is as rigged as the earth is flat. It's trying to keep your memes simply dreams. Whale Abundant Harvest. Hey, nice, mommy. Cyber Ninjas leaked that the Shuffler was watermarked and rigged by China to defeat Trump, and that the arena magic cards are made of bamboo. Huh? Speaking of I could take the shock and then deploy the Scoos here. This is the draw to, though. I think it's take the shock, deploy the Scoos. They get 4 shots at another piece of removal, though. I mean, the Faithless Looting is basically card advantage in their handful of lands. Like, their hand's gonna change a bunch anyway, so I think I'd take the guaranteed removal here. Yes, but what about the V2 Ghazi? What about the V2 Ghazi indeed? Wow. All right, listen, we take those. Crunch. I'm gonna shock this in so we can cantrip the Cling here. Hear that engine revving up while our opponent spins their tires here. Okay, so I think Dromcom's actually kind of mediocre here. The things we often want to fight are going to get really large, so I'd rather have things like Fatal Push and Bloodchief's Thirst, Vanishing Verse, Exiles Phoenixes, probably discard spells out here. I'd rather have things that play to the board. Let me just get rid of all of them. Just let them sit there and spin their tires. Shifty Boy seems good, I guess. Is Shifty Boy better than any of like my angels at the top end though? I'm not sure that it is. Like I don't expect them to have counter spells in against us, and it costs some mana to give Shifting Ceratops reach, so I think it's worse than the other cards I'm currently playing. Yeah, I mean like Baneslayer and Lyra block angels or block drakes. They often block the dragon, and Seraph can give herself Death Touch to trade with the dragon. So again, I think the activation cost on Shifting Ceratops is just too much. What's going on, B-Del? Life is swell. Scale of 1 to dead. Where's this Knight of the Ebon Legion at, opponent? I think that person actually stopped watching. I think we'll never know because I banned them. Is that the most recent ban? Yeah, I think so. We don't ban people too often. The number of people who are like willing to send me $5 a month that like don't sit and watch to know what they're getting into, like most people like know what they're getting here if they watch for an hour or two. I guess we don't always hit political topics every hour or two, but you see, you get a good view of how I run the stream. Yeah, occasionally you get a gift sub that I whack, but even that's pretty rare. Are they baiting me here, chat? Do they want me to activate this knight and get tempoed? Thoughts on the Matt Gates child trafficking? I'm gonna go on record with a controversial opinion. So, you might want to clip this. Sexual predators are bad. But feel free to clip that if you need to use it against me someday. It's a bold choice, but it's what I'm willing to go on record with. SD McCrawley, thanks for the follow. Like, and it's just like, it really isn't like he's awful and everybody involved is awful. Which is like, there really isn't anything to say past that. Opponent just tire spinning again, but this game, notably, I don't really have pressure in play. What are my personal thoughts on Jesus? Jesus as a character in the Bible sounds great. He was definitely exactly the type of progressive politician that I would like to sit down and have a talk with sometime. Turning over tax tables in the temple, giving people food that need food. He seems like he was a cool dude if he existed. Jesus was a radical socialist, that is correct. Honestly, and socialist is probably the wrong word. He was like full-on communist, right? I think it's probably the correct definition. Not like, to talk about like what the definition of socialism and communism actually are. Like, I think he's probably better classified as a communist, right? I've talked about my religious upbringing on stream before, but for people that haven't heard it, I was raised Catholic, and when I say raised Catholic, I mean Sunday school, altar boy, teenage lecturer, the whole 9 yards. And I am no longer practicing anything because I see the types of people who went to the churches that I grew up with and claimed to care about Jesus and the things he stood for and the church supposedly stands for, and they're mostly awful fucking human beings that are giant bigots. So, believe it or not, that was a turnoff. Jeff Hoagland, turnoffs include giant bigots. Am I supposed to keep holding up this cling to dust? Shock me, daddy. Well, now we definitely are. Trans rights are human rights. Because they're humans, chat. Everybody deserves human rights, regardless of who they are. Happy Pride Month, everybody out there that is LGBTQIA+. Did I get all the letters right? I am not, but I support those of you that are. These tokens might give us a run for our money here. We might just be playing out like Grey Ogre Skyclave. This at least gains us 3. Oh, sweet. So this kills this, and it puts a 6th card in my bin. So I can do this and exile their Faithless Looting here, which is gas. I wonder if I even want to board this card in this matchup. There's a chance that this being in my board is wrong. Like, I have Clings, and I have so much exile removal. And I have like Clings, I have exile removal. We have Scavenging Ooze. It's possible that this is being overboarded for this matchup. We're taking at least 5 here. I mean, if they have like an opt-in here and they get to like opt, we can take a bunch of damage and get really far behind here. But you're right, if these cards are bad, that could be good for us. As an archetype usually play Crackling Joint. There's a lot of variation in terms of cards like that they could or can't, they do or don't play. And like this turns off my Scavenging Ooze draws down the line here too, which is rough. Like normally Scavenging Ooze would get to be big and gain me some life back, and with Rip it can't. Yeah, I think I'm gonna board this out for game 3. If we lose this one. Maybe those are the Shifting Ceratops. Maybe even just a couple of Inquisitions. Probably Shifty Boy. Have a way to end the game. I mean, this puts us to 1, right? And then we're solidly not dead yet with the Skyclave Apparition. I'm ready for this to be Scavenging Ooze. That's just some good deck building right there. It was so much worse, chat. Why couldn't you have been Scavenging Ooze card? The dust-free building, chat. No dust here. Alright, so they had lethal last turn and just missed it. They could have killed that and killed me. Got it. No, I had Cling to Dust in my hand. That was end of turn, Cody. We should probably draw an Angel. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Baneslayer or Lyra would have gotten the axe there. The TTK commands have been good. I think Culligan's command is actually less good in this format than it is in a lot of other older non-rotating formats because there aren't a ton of artifacts in this format. I was born and raised in a small town in Italy. Needless to say, Catholicism was more of an enforcement than a choice. Yeah, wild. My grandfather was 100% Italian. All the rest of family trees are various muddlings and middlings. I'm just an American mud at this point. Is that why I like Portillo's? It is. No, I like Portillo's because it's delicious, Beetle. This stream isn't sponsored or endorsed by Portillo's, but Portillo's, if you're out there, it certainly could be. Let's talk. Has that type of shill ever worked? Not to date, but, you know. We're not giving up. No fear, chat. Don't let the fear into your dojo, okay? No, yeah, totally. I just need, like, a tab that I get to spend X amount of dollars on per month, Talrand. I just get, like, a couple $100 of Portillos a month on the house. You get a banner going. I have a family of 5. We could spend a couple $100 a month on Portillos. And these already got a hit in here, so now they get to hit and get bigger this turn too. What's Portillos? Portillos is like it's a Chicago. It's a restaurant that originated in Chicago that has like a bunch of like very typical American food, like hot dogs, dipped beef sandwiches, burgers, that type of stuff. Jersey Mike's isn't really comparable to, they have a grilled portobello mushroom sandwich as well as a croissant with vegetables, both of which I like. My lady. They also have excellent cake shakes. And for those of you that have never had a cake shake before, it's exactly what you think it is from the description. I didn't know I needed that in my life until now. Yeah, it's, The cake shake sounds gross to me. What a weird way to ask for 10 minutes of timeout. What a strange way to ask. Listen, chat, you don't get to be 200 pounds a man by disliking the things that go into cake and shake, okay? That's all I'm saying. They're like looking for chump blockers at this point. Because they can't hard cast Lightning Axe yet. Beer shake. I'm not big on beer. In order for me to enjoy alcohol, it has to double as candy. Although maybe a beer shake would taste like candy, and then maybe it's fine. I think I'm cantripping this Cling to Dust here. I mean, block? I would love to turn your 2-1 into a 2-2. That no longer makes tokens. Nice. Nice. Would like to murder that one, please. Baneslayer, more like Opponent Slayer, chat. Alright, alright. Alright, Abzan Midrange, we're back. We're back up to the bubble. This is your chance. Diamond 4 rank floor, chat. Can we do it? We can do it. Swarm Shambler. You see, our opponent is also a player of culture. The Abzan Mirror, chat. Playing for the Diamond 4 rank floor, and we hit the Abzan Mirror. Yikes. Well, shit. I guess we leave them the song, because we can drum comment. Okay, take this. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe I should have done this on my turn. If we get blown up by a removal spell here, I'm gonna feel bad. Going on, Johnny Hotbox? Thanks for the 14 months. Welcome back. So they can actually Luris. If they have a land, they can recast Luminarch Aspirant this turn. For fuck's sake. I'm gonna die to Swarm Shamblers, chat. Thanks for the follow, Capone. The problem is all these things are about to get bigger next turn. Oh, you know what? Maybe that should have saved that to be a spell, potentially. And take 10 here. If we draw a Baneslayer Angel... Oh god, they gain Vigilance, so we're gonna take 12. If we draw a Baneslayer Angel, we might be in it. Big Hall Monitor energy, for sure. Yep. Alright. Definitely a creature base. I forgot to cut the Rest in Peace from the sideboard. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I could really use probably a couple more pieces of spot removal, honestly. Definitely does not feel like I have enough for these creature matchups. Having to leave Inquisition and Cling to Dust in. These should probably be 2 more pieces of removal. Nah, I know like they had Song of Freylays that game, but they're not always going to have that. And some amount of time they're going to have it, and it's not going to matter. Like, the fact that my opponent happened to have 3 Swarm Shamblers and I had all my spot removal was the biggest issue there, and, like, they're not going to have multiples of that card every game. Really hoping to find our flying threats. They come up the board real nice. The angels especially. Tough to race and don't get chump blocked. Maybe I'm supposed to Vanishing Verse the first idiot. Song gives vigilance on chapter 4 or chapter 3. His verse doesn't hit this. This is a leaves the battlefield trigger. That's so good against us. Yeah, that's what the third deck of the debut is. Yeah, the opponent's deck just like never beats Just Guy control. There's a video of us playing something really close to this before Dromoka's command happened, and I can't imagine that Dromoka's command changes the dynamic that much. It's really good against our shitty midrange deck. That's definitely for sure. This is bad against Stonecoil Serpent too? Yikes. This is the last one more game. I think this might be the last match too. We lose to Abzan 1/1 counters. It's time to tap out. Alright, the other next day, very reasonable. We climbed most to Platinum. We played Niv Enigmatic and, okay, so in response to this, we'll Dromcom 1/1 fight. And then we'll Baleful Mastery this. We might actually steal this. gonna be a little bit short here. They have to block the token because they're gonna put a bunch of counters on it. Is the play to win line try to draw a removal spell? That's the play to win line, right? Because I could like cling to gain 3, trade here, but then I don't have any route to actually winning the game next turn, right? And they targeted this, so like Fatal Push, Baleful Mastery, Vanishing Verse, even Dromoka's command isn't out here. Yep. This is fine. I don't know. I feel like that last... I'm gonna end on this one there. I feel like that last match is like kind of a textbook example of why mid-range decks struggle in a format like this. And that is, you know, think about the Phoenix matchup. The Phoenix matchup, we had good play and counterplay, and it felt like we had good tools overall because we've built our decks with the popular decks in the format in mind. That being said, you know, you look at what people are playing, and the 2 most popular decks in the format are Jeskai Control and Phoenix at like maybe 10% of the format each. So like, even if you have your mid-range deck with a good plan against both of those things, well, what are you doing against the other 80% of the format, right? Like, someone shows up with something wild like Abzan tokens, and they just like stomp your face in because we don't have answers that line up cleanly into everything they have going on. Like, you know, we get Swarm Shamblered out of the game, right? Like, or we get Ozolith when Dromoka's command to interact with enchantments. We don't have a lot of ways to interact with artifacts. We have like a couple, but not a ton. Yeah, like, and in general, it's why when you see mid-range decks be successful, they're, I guess it's probably not fair to call it a mid-range problem in general so much as it's these bigger mid-range decks are bad, right? Like, think about Dead Guy Ale, Red-White mid-range, Mardu tokens. Like, those are all mid-range decks. I would classify them as mid-range, but they have a much more aggressive slant than what this deck is able to put on the table with its, you know, go big angels, right? Like, this is a slower, more reactive deck, and when you're trying to be reactive, you're trying to lean on the fact that your reactive nature is going to line up into whatever you're attempting to react to in any given matchup. And this one, you know, I think this deck is probably fine against Phoenix, and it's probably fine against Jeskai Control with, you know, our sideboard plan here, but you're just going to have to accept that you're going to get stuffed by random things in the format quite frequently. The one change I think I would finish on from the sideboard is I mentioned those Rest in Pieces. We actually didn't have them in our deck for Game 3 against Phoenix. I think with our Clings and our Scavenging Ooze and all our Exile removal, they're just not necessary there. I don't really know what you want to put in there. Probably a couple more pieces of removal. If we add a couple more pieces of removal, maybe that last matchup goes a little bit different. We can play something flexible, perhaps, that does tag problem artifacts like Ozolith. Like maybe you just put a couple of Assassin's Trophies in the sideboard as something that you could play. Now, I think something like Wilt is bad. I think you want it to be another piece of removal against aggro, because, like, ideally, I would like to board out 4 Thoughtseize, 2 Inquisition, and maybe even some Cling against most aggro decks. And I currently only have 5 cards in my sideboard to board in. So if I put 2 removal spells in here for aggro, we could cut, you know, these 6 plus 1 of these, and that's 7 cards to bring in against the average aggro deck. I think I like a couple of trophies. The downside on trophies sucks sometimes giving them basic, but it's a nice flexible answer that occasionally fixes that, oh, my stuff doesn't line up problem that we really saw there in that last match, right? I'm also not convinced that this card is ideal. I don't know exactly what other threat you want here. I like these angels. These angels I've got, if you look at Red, White, Midrange, and Dead Gael on my site, I've got some of these at the top end, but Seraph, her animation is gorgeous and the artwork is great, but the stat line, your 4-mana thing dying to Lightning Helix. If this was just a 4/4, it would probably be reasonable, but with Helix being the premier removal spell in the format, it's a real tough sell as is with her stat line. All right, forward Tsushima.